the iconic Red Fort in the national capital, with many deaths that are feared at this stage. 10 is what some counts say. We don't know how many more or not. And then with 20 to 30 plus people injured is what we understand from the reports we're getting at the hospital. A day that began with the busting of a terror module, and the arrest of doctors turned terror suspects in Haryana and UP by Jammu and Kashmir police, and raids across Jammu and Kashmir's police as well. I mean, many would say that this was an eventuality.
Krishna, absolutely right. See, if you look at the background of events, you would normally expect that if these kind of events were happening in the country, it could lead to an ID blast by one of the terrorist organizations. And that is how we actually came to a conclusion in your channel at about 8 o'clock when we were discussing with the IGP of Punjab Police. But what I'm trying to now piece out is that pieces of information which is coming in is very relevant to come to some conclusion. See, there can be two conclusions. Either it's a CNG blast or it's an ID blast, and some terrorist organization is behind it. So if you look at this possibility which is emerging now, this blast has not created any craters. Normally, a bomb or if it has got TNT or ammonium nitrate, its intensity would be so huge that there would be some kind of craters in the ground. Secondly, the people who have been injured would have got splinters or pellets, and what I'm given to understand is neither of these two things so far is emerging. So it is giving us to go to a theory. It's too premature for me to say that, but because of these kind of informations which we are piecing out now, and there were 4 people in the car. If it was a suicide bombing attack, you will not find 4 people. The other possibility is that it may be a premature kind of a blast. They were planning to move inside a more populated area to carry out this action and leave the car there as an IED. So all these, I think, angles are going to be investigated by the NIA, by the NSG, and by the FSL. So a definite picture is going to emerge. And my last point is, uh, if we take a probability of a CNG, CNG actually, when it blasts, it has a tremendous shock wave effect. And in this shock wave effect, the explosion effect and the shock wave effect. So in this shock wave effect, the injuries are due to burning and high intensity of heat. So these are the two important factors, the heat factor, and we are seeing so many people who have been burnt, or who have actually got this kind of a thing.
Okay,
So
okay. Fair enough.
we
These are the factors. We are trying to arrive at what could have led to this blast. Could it be a CNG blast? Was it something else? Gurinder Singh Dhillon, former ADGP, Law and Order Punjab, is also with us on the broadcast. Gurinder Singh Dhillon, thank you for being with us on this day, on this devastating day in which there have been 2 terror busts. And now we have this devastating blast in iconic Red Fort in New Delhi. From the visuals that you're seeing over here, the impact of the blast has clearly been severe, because you have a bunch of vehicles set on fire immediately. What do you think at this stage? Because if there are no craters, then is the possibility of an IED ruled out at this stage from the visuals that we're getting? Because the vehicles are all mangled. There is all the devastation is quite severe from the looks of it.
So Krishna, yes, thanks for having me again. It's very clear that till investigating agencies come to a conclusion whether it was IED or other gas cylinder explosion, we can't say. But as we are bringing in dots together regarding the recovery of 360 kg of explosive interstate operation by J&K and Haryana police, that is leading us to arrive tentatively that it may be an alleged terror attack. But ultimately, if it is a terror attack, then of course the dimension of the whole thought process will change. It changes, and it can be like in this case in I-20, there were four people sitting, and they were probably preparing an explosive device shortly before attempting to park it near somewhere in the crowded place, and probably the accident happened and they all four killed. As Major General
We have those
Rajan
reports,
Kochar
Gurinder
was
Singh
saying,
Dhillon, which says that, you have the blast took place in a moving car and not in a parked car. In that sense, what the theory that you're propagating, matches with that. They were in the process of doing something and it went off, beyond their control.
yeah, that's what appears. The experience says that maybe, for example, if one module was busted or two modules were busted, third, of course, their handlers will tell them or do something, otherwise something will happen to you people also. And that's like overreaction, or you can say hasty reaction. It may be that if it is a terror attack, if it is an explosion by terrorists, so we have to ultimately, it's not an ordinary blast. Even if there is not a crate there, no crater there, it is not an ordinary blast. It is an extraordinary blast. Till now, of course, we have identified the number of the car. There will be CCTV footage available with the police now, from where the car was moving from one dot to another dot, one place to other place. Ultimately, who was the owner of the car? Why was the car there at that time? So then, if it is the availability of the car number, the owner's number, then there will be mobile phone available. So digital data analysis, everything can be done in a very fast-paced manner by the investigating agency, and Delhi police has the expertise to do it. Then only we will be able to conclude. But issue is that it is really an extraordinary blast, and we have to take it seriously. Whatsoever the case may be, we have to be on alert. Internal security agencies,
Right.
not only in Delhi but in other metros also.
Okay, that's the reason why you have high alerts being sounded off in Mumbai as well in the aftermath of this blast. There's a high alert across Delhi and the National Capital Region and Mumbai as well at this stage. That's the veracity. That's been the veracity of this blast.
करीब करीब शाम को 7 बजे हुंडई I-20 कार में एक ब्लास्ट हुआ है और ब्लास्ट के कारण कार और कार के आसपास की 3-4 व्हीकल और खड़े हुए लोग, ऑटो में बैठे हुए लोग इंजर्ड भी हुए हैं और कुछ मृत्यु भी हुई है। अस्पताल के सूत्रों के अनुसार अब तक 8 लोगों की मृत्यु हो चुकी है। कुछ लोग इंजर्ड हैं, इनका इलाज यहाँ पर चल रहा है। हम सभी एंगल को खुला रखते हुए इसकी गहन जांच शुरू कर दी है। जैसे ही ब्लास्ट की सूचना मिली, दिल्ली पुलिस स्पेशल सेल, क्राइम ब्रांच, NIA की टीम, SPG की टीम, FSL की टीम मौके पर पहुंच गई है और सभी प्रकार की जांच हम तेजी से कर रहे हैं। कुछ ही समय में मैं आशा करता हूं कि धमाके का कारण क्या है उसके निर्णय पर हमारी एजेंसियां पहुंच जाएगी और FSL की सीनियर मोस्ट टीम भी यहां पर पहुंची। धमाके की सूचना आने के बाद तुरंत ही माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी का मुझे फोन आया था। उसके बाद प्राथमिक इंफॉर्मेशन लेकर मैंने प्रधानमंत्री जी को भी ब्रीफ किया है। अभी यहां से मैं घटनास्थल पर जाने के लिए निकल रहा हूं और कल एक बड़े सवेरे ही सीनियर लोगों की टीम के साथ गृह मंत्रालय में बैठक कर इसकी डिटेल जांच की जाएगी।
सर आपको लगता है कि इस हमले के पीछे जो ब्लास्ट हुआ इसके पीछे कोई आतंकी हमला है या कोई भी प्लानिंग यहाँ पर की जा रही है?
देखिए, हम सभी एंगल्स को ओपन रखकर सभी दृष्टि से जांच कर रहे हैं। घटना किस कारण से हुई ये अभी कहना बहुत मुश्किल है। जब तक विस्फोट के स्पॉट पर से जो स्पेसिमेंस मिलेंगे, इसका जब तक एफएसएल का एनालिसिस, एनएसजी का एनालिसिस नहीं होता, इसके बारे में कुछ भी कहना दिक्कत है। मगर हम किसी भी एंगल को बंद नहीं मानते हैं। सभी एंगल का हम दृढ़ता के साथ आगे जांच करेंगे। धन्यवाद।
That was the Union Home Minister Amit Shah briefing the media on the fact that there is all angles that is being probed in this blast. The Prime Minister himself has taken stock of the situation. 8 people have been killed in this explosion. That is the confirmation that's coming in. 8 people, 8 lives have been lost in these deadly blasts in the national capital. Union Home Minister Amit Shah confirming that the government is analysing all possible angles. A steady investigation is taking place as we speak. That's the latest confirmation coming in from the Union Home Minister Amit Shah himself. Prime Minister Modi taking stock of the situation. Visuals on your screens are live, latest visuals of Union Home Minister Amit Shah at the blast site, taking stock of the situation. Bear in mind, the crime branch, the NIA are also, and the NFSL are at the blast site, and now India's Home Minister Amit Shah is at the blast site speaking to the officials over there, taking stock of the situation. Visuals of that on your screens. Union Home Minister Amit Shah just briefing the media moments ago, saying that the authorities are trying to determine the cause of the blast and that they are keeping all options open for analysis. Those are the preliminary comments coming in from Home Minister Amit Shah, who is taking stock of the situation. Visuals on your screens are of him speaking to the top officials on site in the aftermath of the blast. For now, we do understand that it was a Hyundai i20 car which was used with a Haryana registration belonging to one Nadeem. Those are the exclusive details that we have accessed, even as we continue to bring you the latest visuals from the blast site. We have my colleague Aparna Jha now joining us live from the blast site again. Aparna, talk to us, what is the latest that you're picking up? We're getting these visuals of Union Home Minister Amit Shah at the site, speaking to all the officials, gathering as much information as possible.
Well, Krishna, I'm here at the same spot from where this explosion took place, and behind me in the visual you can see that Union Home Minister Amit Shah is here and he is taking stock of the situation. He is having words with the official, and also apart from him and NIA and SG team is also here, and they are continuously at the same site where this explosion took place. Behind me in the visual you can see that it is the same vehicle, the four-wheeler in which the explosion took place, and Union Home Minister Amit Shah is here and he is continuously monitoring and understanding why this exactly happened here at one of the top location of national capital, which is at gate number 1 of the Red Fort. And as you can see that heavy police officials have been deployed here, and earlier we saw that NIA and forensic team, they came here and they visited the site. They took an idea about what all happened, and then further, as you can see in the visual, that we have Union Home Minister Amit Shah here at the spot. First he visited LNJP hospital where he took an idea about what exactly happened, and then he met people who were injured. He met the family of the victim, and now he is here at the same spot where this explosion took place. The entire area is barricaded, but still I would like to request my camera person to zoom a little bit and show to that area where Union Home Minister is currently currently having words with official, and he is having an idea of how this entire situation happened. He is here at the same spot where this explosion took place, and you can clearly see in the visual that along with heavy police official, Union Home Minister Amit Shah is continuously interacting, and he is having an idea about the entire situation, whatever is going on. Also, police officials are on high alert and patrolling is going on in different areas. And apart from national capital, there has been high alert in Mumbai as well, Bengaluru, Rajasthan, and also Bihar election is there. So in several areas, high alert has been there, seeing the ongoing situation. And as we know that the official count of the total number of people who are dead is 8, which is a very alarming situation. Earlier we thought that situation are in control, but then later it is like an alarming situation. And also in the visual at present you can see that continuously a National Investigation Agency along with the Delhi police, they are continuously monitoring the area. Also, I would like to ask my camera person to show this side the impact of the explosion. And as you can see in the visual now, Union Home Minister Amit Shah took the stock of the entire situation, and he is now moving from this place, and the continuous monitoring of this place is also being done by the Delhi police along with NIA and NSG team. Over to you.
Aparna Jha there joining us with the latest, even as Union Home Minister Amit Shah takes stock of the situation. Visuals on your screens are from the blast site. Aparna Jha too, reporting from the blast site. There you go. On your screens are visuals of the heavy police deployment, the presence in between which Union Home Minister Amit Shah is taking stock of the situation. He has briefed the media, and there is official confirmation now that 8 people are confirmed dead. That's what we understand. Many more are getting treated in hospitals. Bear in mind, Union Home Minister Amit Shah also visiting some of the victims in the hospital at LNJP hospital, where these victims are getting treatment, and also taking stock of the situation at the blast site. Bear in mind, the forensic science lab team, the crime branch and the NIA are all on site, collecting details, collecting evidence to figure out the root cause of this blast. Right now, the details that we have are of the fact that it took place inside a moving Hyundai i20 car, and there were people sitting inside the car when the blast took place. The blast ripping through multiple vehicles that were near the i20 car and damaging the entire area. Visuals on your screens will tell you the story, even as we continue to bring you the latest in terms of the investigation in the aftermath of this deadly blast in the national capital. Union Home Minister Amit Shah confirming that a probe is already ongoing into all possible angles, and that the analysis will be done once there are more details. For now, no angle is being ruled out. All teams on site, on ground, collecting evidence, even as we continue to decode what could have possibly led to this devastating blast on a day in which 2 terror modules were busted in Haryana and Uttar Pradesh, and raids are ongoing in Jammu and Kashmir as well. Latest visuals on your screens are from the blast site, where Union Home Minister Amit Shah is still conducting inquiries and getting details from the top officials regarding the blast, as an initial investigation is already underway. We have Major General Rajan Kochar, defense expert and strategy expert, with us. Major General Rajan Kochar, even as you look at these visuals of Union Home Minister Amit Shah on site speaking to all teams, there is the NIA, there is the crime branch, there is the NFSL, the forensic team, all of them are on ground. The evidence that they collect from the blast site is going to be crucial. The evidence that they collect now and ensure that it's not tampered with, they will lead to the source of the blast, isn't it?
Absolutely right. Krishna, see, what happens is that in case an explosive has been used, which is going to substantiate that it was a terrorist attack, we will find the remnants of those explosives, residue of the explosives would be available for the FSLS teams to come to a conclusion. So what Home Minister is saying is absolutely right. No possibility can be ruled out at this stage, because unless we are going to investigate on the ground everywhere, we will see if there are some signs of some kind of chemical or anything like ammonium nitrate residue or an RDX residue, then it would be beyond any doubt that it was a terrorist kind of attack. So I think that piece of information would be very, very vital to the investigation, as also the
Before you go any further, can I just ask you at this stage, what else could it have been apart from a terror attack? Is it even possible that this is not a terror attack?
you see, Krishna, I mean, possibility of a non-terror attack, I would put it slightly lesser because of the magnitude of the blast which has taken place. Because normally, uh, uh, presumption is that if there is a CNG blast, and we have seen in India, especially in Delhi, a number of CNG blasts have taken place, but they have not had this kind of a devastating effect. So all these things have to be pieced together, and I think it will be too early for me to come to any conclusion whether it was a terrorist or it was not a terrorist attack. One more important piece of information which needs to be connected is the registration number of this vehicle. If it is not a fake registration number, it is trying to piece out this information, as we saw yesterday. The In Faridabad, this explosive was recovered, and these doctors were actually arrested from there. So this vehicle also bears a Haryana number HR, which is supposed to be of a Gurgaon number. I am given to understand HR 26. So we should also be interested to piece these kind of information, that the vehicle which has been used for this blast also belongs to a particular area from where the searches were carried out and the recovery was made.
Okay.
So that would also be one important piece of evidence. And the second piece of evidence is the owner of the vehicle, his name is Nadeem. So that also gives us some kind of a suspicion, though it is not a open and shut case as far as I'm concerned.
Okay.
Certainly, it points to a needle of suspicion that the person who has been arrested was a Muslim, and this car is also belonging to a Muslim. I don't want to cast any caste or religion aspirations here, but these are important pieces of information which need to be connected together.
Okay, Gurinder Singh Dhillon, in terms of piecing information together, let's begin with the basics over here. If this is a CNG blast, could it have had the kind of impact it did? It ripped through multiple vehicles, has left 8 people dead already.
So, Krishna, past experience shows, and I agree with what Major Journalist Kocher is saying, that with CNG blast, it will not be as extraordinary blast as it is here, which has taken place. There are 8 deaths. There are about 30 persons injured. So, though, counting on this thing that till now no terror organization has taken a responsibility, and secondly, therefore, that's why India's Home Minister, Mr. Amit Shah ji, was also saying that we have to include all the angles. Where, for example, if I have to go to be on the scene of crime, I will have to look for whether it was a mechanical fault, whether it is accidental ignition, or it is deliberate act. And we will have to move around these theories. At the same time, as far as number is concerned, it is just 5-7 minutes job for police to know whether it is fake number, whether it is real number, what is the identity of Nadeem, what are the mobile number he will be carrying, why the team, why the 4 people were here, why the car was here, and above all, FSL Rohini and NSG's FSL lab, they're very close from here. It will not be difficult to bring out a situation where they identify as to what was the cause of explosion or what kind of material was found from the scene of crime or from the car Hyundai i20. So all these things can be put together in a very short time. and I'm sure police will be doing it in due course so that everything is in place.
Right, stay with us, Gurinder Singh Dhillon and Major General Rajan Kochar. Let's quickly take a look at some of these ground reports that we have from the blast site.
बिल्कुल देखिए एनएसजी की टीम इस वक्त स्पॉट पर पहुंच चुकी है जिसका जिक्र अब से कुछ देर पहले हमने किया था। तस्वीरें देखिए किस तरीके से जो एनएसजी के जवान हैं वो आपको इस वक्त स्पॉट पर जाते हुए साफ तौर पर दिखाई देंगे सैंपल्स इकट्ठा करने के लिए, क्योंकि एनएसजी की टीम की जो फॉरेंसिक टीम है उसको दरअसल इस तरीके के ब्लास्ट में खास तौर पर किस तरीके का केमिकल उसमें इस्तेमाल किया, किस तरीके का विस्फोटक उसके अंदर इस्तेमाल किया गया, इसके अंदर उसे महारत हासिल है उसकी पहचान करने को लेकर। तो फिलहाल एनएसजी की जो टीम है वो अपनी फॉरेंसिक जांच टीम के साथ इस वक्त स्पॉट पर पहुंच चुकी है। एनआईए की टीम पहले ही यहां पर पहुंची हुई थी अपनी फॉरेंसिक टीम के साथ। तो कहा जा सकता है कि दिल्ली पुलिस की फॉरेंसिक टीम, एनएसजी की फॉरेंसिक टीम और साथ ही एनआईए की फॉरेंसिक टीम अलग अलग सैंपल्स इकट्ठा कर रही है ताकि एक निष्कर्ष पर पहुंचा जा सके आखिरकार जो ब्लास्ट था वो किस वजह से हुआ और किस चीज के अंदर हुआ। जी,
एक चीज़ का रिव्यू किया जा रहा है और यही वजह है कि जैसे ही घटना घटी उसके तुरंत बाद तमाम जांच एजेंसियां यहां पर पहुंची थी। अब देखिए गाड़ी आइडेंटिफाई हो चुकी है, मेरे पीछे खड़ी हुई i20, उसका नंबर जो है वो गुड़गांव के नाम पर है, नदीम खान जो है उसके नाम पर रजिस्टर्ड है। अभी हालांकि जांच की जा रही है कि क्या नंबर प्लेट के साथ में कोई फर्ज तो नहीं किया गया है, ये तय हो चुका है। और घटनाक्रम भी देखा और देखिए इस पूरे इलाके में सीसीटीवी लगा हुआ है तो वो भी जाँच की जा रही है कि गाड़ी जो है वो किस तरफ से, हालांकि वो रास्ता तो उधर से आ रहा है तो रिंग रोड की तरफ से, तो वहाँ से आगे की तरफ बढ़ रहा था। अब उसके अंदर कितने लोग थे ये पता लगेगा सीसीटीवी फुटेज देखने के बाद में कि आखिर कितने लोग थे। और वहां पर आप देखिए i20 जिस पर देखिए लाइट डल रही है, एक बार फिर से दिखा देते हैं, वो देखिए i20 जिस पर लाइट डाली जा रही है यही है जिसके अंदर किया जा रहा था, जिसका जो लगेज कैरियर है वो हमारे पास आके गिरा है। और पीछे की तरफ देखेंगे तो गाड़ी खुली हुई है, सामने जो आप देख रहे हैं इसके अंदर फॉरेंसिक टीम के पूरे इक्विपमेंट्स हैं। और ये देखिए लाइट देखिए, एक बार फिर से दिखा देते हैं आपको, ये TV9 पर पहली बार ये दिखाने को ये तस्वीर दिखा रहे हैं। अब आप देख लीजिए i20 जो है वो आप देखिए गौर से, पहले अंधेरा था लेकिन वहां रोशनी की गई है। इसी i20 के अंदर वो ब्लास्ट कैरी किया जा रहा था जिसे अब एनआईए समेत तमाम जो जांच एजेंसियां हैं वो जांच कर रही है। सफेद रंग की यहां पर आप देखिए i20 है और सामने जो आपको दिख रहे हैं ये एनआईए टीम के साथ जो साइंटिस्ट आए थे वो हैं, जिस चीन को मोड़ रहे हैं दरअसल वो डिक्की है। इसी कार के अंदर अब जांच की जा रही है। तो पूरी इन्वेस्टिगेशन का जो सेंटर है फिलहाल वो ये कार है जिसके अंदर देखिए लाइट दिखाकर अब देखा जा रहा है। साथ में जो नंबर प्लेट की हम बात कर रहे थे ये देखा जा रहा है कि जो उसका शीट है उस पर कितना असर पड़ा है।
Major General Rajan Kochar is also with us. Major General Rajan Kochar, even if you look at that ground report, the question here is whether the number plate and the name that we have connected to that car in which the blast took place is even real or forged or not. Only then will we know. Even if the car is from a particular area or not. You're talking about the fact that you have to map out which area the car is coming from, and that could lead to clues. But even now, at this stage, we don't know if the number plate of the car is actual or forged. There's an investigation into that.
I entirely agree with you, because at this stage we don't actually have the overall picture. We are slowly getting pieces of evidence and pieces of information through the media, and we are trying to decipher this entire thing, because two things are there. And as ADGP Dhillon also mentioned, that in case it is a terror attack, then the ball game is going to be entirely different, and the response of the government has to be also different. And also some people are trying to link this with the Bihar elections also, because I just read a flash on the Twitter, but I don't think that's the correct assessment to take at this point of time, because Bihar elections are almost at the fag end, and this is not going to affect the elections. Tomorrow, I think, is the polling day. It's not going to affect the elections, and we should not link it with that. There are some people who were mentioning that. I thought I must give my personal assessment about this aspect also. And lastly, you see, in a matter of 24 hours, I can tell you this entire evidence will be pieced out, because the way the forensics work, and they are already on the site, I don't think it will take very long for them to carry out a chemical analysis and find out what kind of chemical was used in the blast or not. So that would make the picture very, very clear. The second important part of the evidence is the car itself, the source of the crime. So I think from the chassis number and the engine number, even if the number plate is fake, the chassis number and the engine number will bring out the actual fact that who the owner of this car.
In fact, as we speak, Major Rajan Kochar, we have news coming in. News9 has accessed some crucial details of that car involved in the blast. The owner, Mohammed Salman, has been taken into custody. That's what we understand at this stage. The name of the owner is Mohammed Salman of this Hyundai i20 car, which was involved in the blast, where the blast erupted first. That car, registration number on your screens, Mohammed Salman, and he says that he had sold the car. That's the latest that we understand. The owner of this car is a guy named Mohammed Salman. He has been taken into custody and he has said that he has sold this car. Gurinder Singh Dhillon, talk to us now. This thickens the plot further. We really don't know who was using this car, because although the authorities have nabbed the owner of the car has disowned this car, saying the fact that this is not even mine anymore, this was sold.
Krishna, that happens actually. So as you have rightly said, this thickens the plot. Secondly, the number of the car is HR26. There is no ABCD. Either it is very old car, because the sequence of number is HR267674. The number which is available on the screen, there is no ABCD or DE or something. Either the car is very old, and if it's an old car, why was it moving on the road? Now all this thickens the plot, and this leads us what they call the needle of suspicion towards something fishy, not like a CNG explosion. It leads us towards the needle of suspicion, tilts towards this thing that this may be a terror attack. But of course, I can't confirm sitting from here. But all the circumstantial evidence indicates towards that.
Circumstantial evidence at the moment indicating a clear terror plot. Let's now quickly take a look at this ground report from my colleague Nivriti Mohan, who spoke to one of the eyewitnesses.
We are outside LNJP hospital right now, and we have some relatives over here who have been brought to LNJP hospital after they got injured in the blast near the Lal Killa. So let us talk to him. आपका नाम बताइए। पवन शर्मा। पवन जी, कौन है आपका, किसको लेकर आए हैं?
मेरे जीजा आया, पता नहीं कैसे आया, मेरे को नहीं पता। एम्बुलेंस आया, कोई लेके आया।
कहाँ थे वो उस वक्त जब ब्लास्ट?
लाल किले के पास।
कहाँ?
लाल किले।
लाल किले के पास क्या कर रहे थे?
टैक्सी चलाते हैं।
टैक्सी चलाते हैं वो। तो उस समय टैक्सी में थे या टैक्सी के बाहर?
टैक्सी से बस उतरे थे, फोन पर से ले गए, उसके बाद ही ब्लास्ट हुआ, यही बता।
अच्छा, टैक्सी से उतरे थे और ब्लास्ट हो गया। तो क्या चोट आई है उनको, क्या हुआ है?
अब एक हाथ पर पूरा चोट आई हुई है और चेहरे पे भी चोट आई है।
चेहरे पे भी चोट आई है?
हाँ, बोल नहीं पा रहे।
आप मिले उनसे, देखा आपने?
जाने नहीं दे रहे अंदर।
जाने नहीं दे रहे। उनके साथ और कोई था?
कोई और पता नहीं अभी।
नहीं पता आपको? तो वो मतलब ट्रैफिक लाइट के आसपास थे या कहाँ पे?
मतलब इतना नहीं पता हूँ, वहीं पर थे लाल किले के पास। उन्होंने गाड़ी लगा के उतरे बस।
तो बताया क्या है अभी तक आपको कि उनको चोट, गंभीर चोटें आई हैं?
वीडियो कॉल करी
हालत क्या है?
वीडियो कॉल करी थी, वो बोल नहीं पा रहे, चोट लगी हुई हाथ और मुंह पे उनके, और बाकी पता नहीं कहाँ लगी।
आपने उनको वीडियो कॉल करी?
हाँ।
और वो उन्होंने उठाया फोन?
हाँ,
खुद से उठाया?
हाँ, खुद से उठाया, बोल नहीं पा रहे।
अच्छा, बोल नहीं पा रहे थे।
चेहरा वेरा सब खुला पड़ा होगा।
क्या नाम है उनका?
भवानी सिंह।
भवानी सिंह। कहाँ के रहने वाले हैं?
यूपी के, अलीगढ़।
अलीगढ़ के?
हाँ।
काम तो दिल्ली में ही करते हैं?
हाँ, नोएडा में रहते।
नोएडा में रहते हैं। आप कहाँ के हैं?
मैं संगम बिहार।
उनके घर में कौन कौन है?
उनकी वाइफ है, 3 बच्चे, उनकी मम्मी है।
अच्छा।
और 2 भाई है।
अभी तक और कोई जानकारी नहीं मिली है? उनको यहाँ पे लेके आए हैं? आपने और लोगों को भी लाते हुए देखा यहाँ पे?
और मैंने तो देखा नहीं, मतलब अंदर से गए था पीछे वाले गेट से, तब देखा था। किसी के पैर में चोट लगी, किसी के हाथ में चोट लगी है, जाने नहीं दे रहे।
अच्छा, क्या नाम बताया आपने?
भवानी सिंह।
भवानी सिंह। So this is Bhavani Singh, relative of one of the injured person who have been brought to LNJP hospital. He has inflicted injuries on his arm and face, as he said, and people are not being allowed to go inside and meet their relatives as of now, because all the people who have been brought here injured, they are under treatment right now.
That's the latest from the LNJP hospital, where the victims have been admitted. 8 people confirmed dead so far, more than a dozen injured. News9 getting you accounts from the blast site as well as from the LNJP hospital, speaking to the next of kin of victims. Even as an investigation is underway on site, bear in mind, Union Home Minister Amit Shah has already visited the blast site and the victims in the hospital, has taken stock of the situation, has already addressed the media as well, where he confirmed that the authorities are probing all angles. Nothing can be ruled out at this stage. The Home Minister also confirming the fact that it is the number of dead so far is 8. Even as we continue to get you the latest details of the car involved in the blast, the Hyundai i20 car. We now understand that the car involved in the blast, the owner of it is one Mohammed Salman, and he has been taken into custody. However, Mohammed Salman has said that he has sold the car and it was not his anymore. So the mystery deepening into what exactly happened, how this blast took place. Was an IED or an improvised explosive device involved in this blast? All suspicions arising on a day in which 2 terror modules have been busted in a joint operation by Jammu and Kashmir Police and the Haryana Police and the Uttar Pradesh Police. 3 doctors turned terror suspects arrested earlier in the day. We have Major General Rajan Kochar and we have Gurinder Singh Dhillon, former ADGP Law and Order Punjab, both with us on the broadcast. Thank you for being with us, sir. Major General Rajan Kochar, if you look at the number of people who have been injured over here and the kind of injuries that they have sustained, and the fact that 8 people have lost their lives, all of it basically means that what we know right now is the tip of the iceberg. First of all, the car involved in the blast is, we don't know who owns the car, what was happening in that car. The number on the plate itself seems to be not exactly, if it is such an old car, but there's no ABC involved, what was that car doing on the roads? And even if the owner can't claim the car, that he has sold the car, then there itself, there you go, that's a big giveaway. When it comes to what happened before this blast took place, clearly there is a sinister plot that is involved, at least prima facie.
Prima facie, see, let's piece these 2 important pieces of information which is coming to us. First is the owner of the car who has sold this vehicle to somebody. So now, in case it is there with the RTO, I think this information can be obtained in a matter of minutes, because it's all computerized, everything is available, digitalized. So I think in case his statement is correct, he should be able to tell us to whom it has been sold, and then we can do the forensics of that person to whom it was sold. Was he inside the car, or is he staying somewhere and can be traced? That is point number 1, because this car is a very strong piece of evidence which is going to piece this entire puzzle together. The second aspect is that the forensics will be able to tell us from the site, as I actually mentioned to you earlier also, the remnants of the explosives, the residue of the explosives, what kind of explosive was used, because that is also not difficult for the forensics to tell us. These, I feel as of now, whatever information is available to us, I can deduct on these 2 important aspects, a vehicle or the car and the antecedents there, and the chemical analysis. Because these 2 things, if we piece it out together, we can come to a conclusion that it was not a CNG blast. In case some substantial evidence is coming forth, we can come to the conclusion that it was not a CNG blast and it was a terror blast. So I think as of now, This is the only information we have on which we can carry out our own analysis.
Fair enough. This is all the information that we have to carry out our own analysis, even as we continue to keep getting you more and more details here. We're trying to access exclusive details so that we get to the bottom of this as an investigation is underway. Gurinder Singh Dhillon, former ADGP Law and Order Punjab, is also with us. The latest we understand is that the owner of the Hyundai i20 car has been taken into custody, but the owner has denied ownership of the car, saying the fact that, he sold it. So owner Salman says he has sold the car to a man named Devender. Devender further sold the car to someone in Ambala. That's what the police sources are telling us. Those are the latest details we have. Clearly, the car has changed multiple hands. Gurinder Singh Dhillon, there you go. That is a smoking gun right there. The fact that this particular car in question has changed multiple hands means that this is a car that wasn't meant to be there, wasn't meant to be plied on the roads. This was meant for that sinister purpose that has resulted in this devastating blast.
Yes, Krishna, clearly now it is this has made the whole case very interesting for investigation teams. And I totally agree that it's not very slow thing to move now in this digital world. I know how we identify the car. Secondly, if the car is sold from one person to other person and it is not entered in RTA records, that also shows that since it may be more than 15 years old or more than 10 years old, so nobody can register the car with RTA. All these things, what leading from one person to another person, it may be just writing between the one owner and the second owner, but not going in an RTA record. That is why the police went to the first owner. So second owner and third owner are very important, and then age of the car. And why was this car, if it was very aged car, why was it that old car? Why was it moving in Delhi? So all these things make it very interesting.
And that, it gives away the fact that this car, this was not a blast that just happened. This was meant to happen. There was a plot behind, there's a plan behind it. Probably it didn't go exactly the way these terrorists wanted it, possible terrorists wanted it, but clearly something big is amiss when it comes to this particular car. And the more, as we get more and more details of this car, for now, all that we understand is that this as a Haryana number plate, a number plate that makes us understand that this is a very old car. This is not a new car. More than 15 years old, should not have been on the roads of Delhi in the first place. The car's first owner, Mohammed Salman, has been taken into custody, and he has said that he has sold the car to somebody called Devender. And now police sources are telling us that the Devender then sold it to somebody else in Ambala. Clearly the car changing multiple hands, and eventually it is at the center of this investigation into this devastating blast that has taken the lives of 8 people, and many more are injured. Bear in mind, we're talking about this at a stage where an investigation is underway. The forensics teams of all are on the ground trying to piece together every single piece of evidence that is available at the blast site, even as victims are getting treated at the LNJP hospital. Union Home Minister Amit Shah visiting the victims, taking stock of the situation at the hospital as well as at the blast site. He is also confirmed the fact that 8 people have lost their lives. Many, we understand, were brought dead to the hospital. The authorities are probing all angles. Nothing is being taken for granted at this stage. In fact, let's quickly listen to what Amit Shah, the Union Home Minister, had to say.
दिल्ली में आज लाल किले के पास करीब शाम को 7 बजे हुंडई i20 कार में एक ब्लास्ट हुआ है, और ब्लास्ट के कारण कार और कार के आसपास की 3-4 व्हीकल और खड़े हुए लोग, ऑटो में बैठे हुए लोग इंजर्ड भी हुए हैं और कुछ मृत्यु भी हुई है। अस्पताल के सूत्रों के अनुसार अब तक 8 लोगों की मृत्यु हो चुकी है। कुछ लोग इंजर्ड हैं, इनका इलाज यहां पर चल रहा है। हम सभी एंगल को खुला रखते हुए इसकी गहन जांच शुरू कर दी है। जैसे ही ब्लास्ट की सूचना मिली, दिल्ली पुलिस स्पेशल सेल, क्राइम ब्रांच, एनआईए की टीम, एसपीजी की टीम, एफएसएल की टीम मौके पर पहुंच गई है और सभी प्रकार की जांच हम तेजी से कर रहे हैं। कुछ ही समय में मैं आशा करता हूं कि धमाके का कारण क्या है उसके निर्णय पर हमारी एजेंसियां पहुंच जाएगी और एफएसएल की सीनियर मोस्ट टीम भी यहां पर पहुंची। धमाके की सूचना आने के बाद तुरंत ही माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी का मुझे फोन आया था। उसके बाद प्राथमिक इंफॉर्मेशन लेकर मैंने प्रधानमंत्री जी को भी ब्रीफ किया है। अभी यहां से मैं घटनास्थल पर जाने के लिए निकल रहा हूं और कल एक बड़े सवेरे ही सीनियर लोगों की टीम के साथ गृह मंत्रालय में बैठक कर इसकी डिटेल जांच की जाएगी।
सर, आपको लगता है कि इस हमले के पीछे, जो ब्लास्ट हुआ, इसके पीछे कोई आतंकी हमला है या कोई भी प्लानिंग यहाँ पर की जा रही है?
देखिए, हम सभी एंगल्स को ओपन रखकर सभी दृष्टि से जांच कर रहे हैं। घटना किस कारण से हुई ये अभी कहना बहुत मुश्किल है। जब तक विस्फोट के स्पॉट पर से जो स्पेसिमेंस मिलेंगे, इसका जब तक एफएसएल का एनालिसिस, एनएसजी का एनालिसिस नहीं होता, इसके बारे में कुछ भी कहना दिक्कत है। मगर हम किसी भी एंगल को बंद नहीं मानते हैं। सभी एंगल का हम दृढ़ता के साथ आगे जांच करेंगे।
That was Union Home Minister Amit Shah officially briefing the media in the aftermath of this deadly blast near the Red Fort metro station in national capital New Delhi. We'll continue to bring you the latest images from the blast site. These are images from a little while earlier when the fires were still burning. Now the fires have been doused in the aftermath of this blast, which has taken the lives of 8 people. We have Major General Rajan Kochar, defense expert and strategy expert, with us. We have Gurinder Singh Dhillon, former ADGP Law and Order Punjab, also with us, even as we continue to get you the latest details regarding the car that is involved in this blast. The car, the Hyundai i20 car with the Haryana number plate, where we now understand the car has exchanged many hands. The original owner has been taken into custody, but he has confessed that the car was sold to somebody, and then that somebody, who's Devinder, has sold it to somebody else in Ambala. Major General Rajan Kochar, if you hear what the Union Home Minister had to say, even he said it is early to say anything without the first reports of the forensics team. They are at the center of it right now. The forensics team is the one that, from the evidence that they've collected from the blast site, who will be taking this investigation forward. It will be clues from their end that will take this investigation forward.
I totally agree with the statement made by the Union Home Minister. He has made a very responsible statement. He has kept it open-ended because right now the Home Minister also does not have that kind of information in which he can share it with the public with clear evidence to suggest that whether it was a terrorist strike or not. So I think we would get a very clear picture of the entire thing by tomorrow morning. I think the latest, I would say that, because by tomorrow morning a lot of information would be flowing in, and these multiple owners, what you are mentioning here, this is quite intriguing, and ultimately I think the investigation agencies will be able to piece out who was the ultimate owner. I don't think that should be a difficult thing to arrive at, because subsequent owners will be identified, and we'll be able to find out that who is the current owner of this vehicle, and then these things can be pieced out in a more logical and a comprehensive manner. As of now, we are still in the arena of speculation because not entire information is available. We are trying to piece out with whatever information is available to us, the various details or conclusions we can draw from this information, what is being made available to us. And I'm certain by the morning we'll be able to get a very, very clear picture of this entire episode.
Have to wait for more information to filter in. Gurinder Singh Dhillon, at this stage, it'll be every hour will count, isn't it? Every hour there will be newer information that will be coming to us, and that will add to all the pieces in the puzzle and help us understand more about this deadly blast. Because 20 years ago, if there was a blast like this, information is not going to be filtering in by the minute, by the hour. But now, in the internet age, in the artificial intelligence age, information is going to be filtering in with every passing minute.
Yes, I totally agree, Krishna, because there are three very important issues I would like to raise. Number one is, I'm just out of my investigation experience, I'm just fearing that the last owner may not say, oh, my car was stolen that day and I have given the report to the police. So this has happened in multiple occasions where the last owner, unidentified owner who will come last, he will say, oh, my car was stolen few days back and I have already given the report to. I hope it is not so. And I think by the time now, police will surely, Delhi Police Investigation Agency will know about it. Secondly, the very important point which I want to raise out of my experience is that this is a very serious national internal security concern. If the cars like this are moving interstate, they are moving into the capital of the country. This means immediately Government of India, Ministry of Home Affairs should immediately order the audit of all the cars moving on the roads, whether you use it interstate nakas, whether you do use high-tech nakas, whatever you do, you ask RTS to do the audit. This is very important because these are the loopholes which these anti-terror, these terrorist groups, anti-national elements use, these loopholes. This is very, very important. We need to look into immediately. If there are some other modules existing, they can be short-circuited. These are the points which I feel immediately bring concern to my mind. And third is that, yes, rightfully, it will not take long. It may take 1 hour or not more than 2 hours to understand that at the scene of crime, inside the car which was used where the explosion happened, what was the material available in the car or around in the scene of crime. These three things are the most important things I wanted to raise here.
Stay with us, Gurinder Singh Dhillon and Major Rajan Kochar. Let's quickly take a look at some of the ground reports, the latest ground reports that we have coming in.
बिल्कुल देखिए एनएसजी की टीम इस वक्त स्पॉट पर पहुंच चुकी है, जिसका जिक्र अब से कुछ देर पहले हमने किया था। तस्वीरें देखिए किस तरीके से जो एनएसजी के जवान हैं वो आपको इस वक्त स्पॉट पर जाते हुए साफ तौर पर दिखाई देंगे, सैंपल्स इकट्ठा करने के लिए, क्योंकि एनएसजी की टीम की जो फॉरेंसिक टीम है उसको दरअसल इस तरीके के ब्लास्ट में खास तौर पर किस तरीके का केमिकल उसमें इस्तेमाल किया, किस तरीके का विस्फोटक उसके अंदर इस्तेमाल किया गया, इसके अंदर उसे महारत हासिल है उसकी पहचान करने को लेकर। तो फिलहाल एनएसजी की जो टीम है वो अपनी फॉरेंसिक जांच टीम के साथ इस वक्त स्पॉट पर पहुंच चुकी है। एनआईए की टीम पहले ही यहां पर पहुंची हुई थी अपनी फॉरेंसिक टीम के साथ। तो कहा जा सकता है कि दिल्ली पुलिस की फॉरेंसिक टीम, एनएसजी की फॉरेंसिक टीम और साथ ही एनआईए की फॉरेंसिक टीम अलग अलग सैंपल्स इकट्ठा कर रही है ताकि एक निष्कर्ष पर पहुंचा जा सके आखिरकार जो ब्लास्ट था वो किस वजह से हुआ और किस चीज के अंदर हुआ। जी,
एक चीज़ का रिव्यू किया जा रहा है और यही वजह है कि जैसे ही घटना घटी उसके तुरंत बाद तमाम जांच एजेंसियां यहां पर पहुंची थी। अब देखिए गाड़ी आइडेंटिफाई हो चुकी है, मेरे पीछे खड़ी हुई i20, उसका नंबर जो है वो गुड़गांव के नाम पर है, नदीम खान जो है उसके नाम पर रजिस्टर्ड है। अभी हालांकि जांच की जा रही है कि क्या नंबर प्लेट के साथ में कोई फॉर्स तो नहीं किया गया है, ये तय हो चुका है। और घटनाक्रम भी देखा और देखिए इस पूरे इलाके में CCTV लगा हुआ है, तो वो भी जाँच की जा रही है कि गाड़ी जो है वो किस तरफ से, हालांकि वो रास्ता तो उधर से आ रहा है तो रिंग रोड की तरफ से, तो वहाँ से आगे की तरफ बढ़ रहा था। अब उसके अंदर कितने लोग थे ये पता लगेगा CCTV फुटेज देखने के बाद में कि आखिर कितने लोग थे। और वहां पर आप देखिए i20 जिस पे देखिए लाइट डल रही है, एक बार फिर से दिखा देते हैं, वो वो देखिए I-20 जिस पर लाइट डाली जा रही है, यही है जिसके अंदर ब्लास्ट किया जा रहा था, जिसका जो लगेज कैरियर है वो हमारे पास आके गिरा है। और पीछे की तरफ देखेंगे तो गाड़ी खुली हुई है। सामने जो आप देख रहे हैं इसके अंदर फॉरेंसिक टीम के पूरे इक्विपमेंट्स हैं। और ये देखिए लाइट, देखिए एक बार फिर से दिखा देते हैं आपको। ये TV9 पर पहली बार ये दिखाने को ये तस्वीर दिखा रहे हैं। अब आप देख लीजिए I-20 जो है वो आप देखिए, गौर से पहले अंधेरा था लेकिन वहाँ रोशनी की गई है। इसी I-20 के अंदर वो ब्लास्ट कैरी किया जा रहा था, जिसे अब NIA समेत तमाम जो जांच एजेंसियां हैं वो जांच कर रही है। सफ़ेद रंग की यहाँ पर आप देखिए I-20 है, और सामने जो आपको दिख रहे हैं ये NIA टीम के साथ जो साइंटिस्ट आए थे वो हैं, जिस चीन को मोड़ रहे हैं। दरअसल वो डिक्की है, इसी कार के अंदर अब जांच की जा रही है। तो पूरी इन्वेस्टिगेशन का जो सेंटर है फिलहाल वो ये कार है, जिसके अंदर देखिए लाइट दिखाकर अब देखा जा रहा है। साथ में जो नंबर प्लेट की हम बात कर रहे थे, ये देखा जा रहा है कि जो उसका शीट है उस पर कितना असर पड़ा है।
हम ये देखे, लपट देखा, हाँ, अपने छत से देखा, तभी मैं नीचे उतर के आया कि जरा देखूं कहाँ क्या। बम बहुत जोर आवाज आई, बिल्डिंग खिड़की हिल गई, हाँ, खिड़की हिल गई।
आवाज़ आई, धमाका हुआ तो मैं दुकान पे बैठ गई। पीछे मेरी दुकान है, यहीं पे दुकान है, यहीं पे तो मैं चेयर पे बैठा हुआ था। एकदम से अचानक इतनी तेज धमाका हुआ कि मेरे लाइफ में इतनी तेज मैंने अपनी आवाज़ के भी नहीं सुना।
हम ये देखे, लपट देखा, हाँ, अपने छत से देखा, तभी मैं नीचे उतर के आया कि जरा देखूं कहाँ क्या। बम बहुत जोर आवाज आई, बिल्डिंग खिड़की हिल गई, हाँ, खिड़की हिल।
कार में
तो आप लोग वहीं खड़े थे? आप वहीं थे?
मैं उसके पीछे पीछे चल रहा था।
कार के? तो कितने लोग सवार थे उस गाड़ी में, कुछ पता चला?
होंगे 4-5, कई जने वैसे ही जल गए, आसपास में जो थे वो फटे।
कितनी गाड़ियाँ डैमेज हुई हैं यहाँ पर? कितनी?
2-3 गाड़ी।
वो जो कार सवार थे उनकी क्या हालत कैसी है?
कुछ तो गंभीर है, 8-10 तो गंभीर है, 20-25 जनों को वैसे चोट आई है उनके जैसे खींचड़ों से, और कुछ हाथों हाथ खत्म।
कितने बजे घटना घटी?
7 बजे।
7 बजे।
7 पुट्टे 7 में बम फट गया।
7 बजते
पुट्टे 7 में बस बम फट गया। मैं अपना दुकान वहीं पे था, मेरा दुकान।
कितनी गाड़ियाँ चपेट में आई इसके बम के?
जल गया है।
से ही इसकी खबर मिली, हम सारी एजेंसी जो है, दिल्ली पुलिस, FSL, NIA, NSG, उनकी टीम्स यहाँ पे आ चुकी हैं और हालात का जायजा भी ले रही है। हर तरीके से इस जो है एक्सप्लोजन के बारे में जांच की जा रही है और जल्दी ही इसका आकलन करके इसका जो भी रिजल्ट निकलेगा वो आपको बताया जाएगा।
Those are the latest reactions coming in from the blast site, from the police, from eyewitnesses. We're getting you the latest from the ground as we continue to track the details of the investigation. We have Major General Rajan Kochar with us. Major General Rajan Kochar, an alert has been sounded out across Mumbai, Uttar Pradesh, in Uttar Pradesh, in Lucknow, apart from which a high alert has been sounded in election bound Bihar as well. Apart from the city of Lucknow, security agencies in Rajasthan have sounded out a high alert. Security has been increased at the Indo-Nepal border. Talk to us from a strategy perspective. You know, in the aftermath of a deadly blast like this in the national capital, what would the strategy be in terms of raising security levels across the country?
Very important aspect you have raised here, because see, what happens here is that from the past experience, if you draw out some lessons which we have learned, is that at times one blast may be followed by another blast in some other place, or it may be in the same city itself, and we have precedents to suggest that. So precautionarily, I think all prophylactic measures will have to be taken and are being taken, and especially if we are trying to piece out the information we have, the intelligence agencies have been able to give us that what are the areas which were wrecked by these people who have been arrested, because that also gives you indication that in case they have wrecked a particular area, that area may also be subject to some kind of attack in the near future. So this is one important part of the strategy, that we need to be really very, very agile and alert. Second is border management from state to state. Like the ADGP was also telling us, and especially when we are in the NCR system, like Delhi NCR has a border with Uttar Pradesh, it has a border with Haryana, and it, it has a border with Rajasthan also. So these are the areas where it becomes very, very difficult if we are talking about these number plates, the HR number plate, or the Delhi number plate, or the UP number plate, Rajasthan, RJ. So it becomes very difficult to stop vehicles because every day thousands of people are commuting from one place to another inside the Delhi. So Delhi NCR, I think, would be a challenge. I don't say it is impossible, but it's not easy to do it here without causing major repercussions among the people who are commuting every day. And next important part of the strategy is that the intelligence agencies will now have to work overnight to identify the sleeper cells or the people who have still not been caught. Because you see, as you said in your program, this is the tip of the iceberg. The iceberg has not yet been identified. So there is the challenge, because in spite of artificial intelligence, quantum computing, machine learning, we have the entire technology available to us. We must make use of this technology, and social media is one area, I think, which would need to be monitored by these intelligence agencies slightly in more detail, because most of these messages you within our own country or within this thing are either on Instagram or on WhatsApp
Fair
or
enough.
things like.
Major Lalit Kocha, just stay with us because we are bringing live latest visuals of Delhi's Chief Minister Rekha Gupta taking stock of the situation. Visuals on your screens are of the meeting that Delhi's Chief Minister Rekha Gupta has held with top officials in the aftermath of this deadly blast at the Red Fort metro station. We now understand that 9 people could be killed. Delhi Chief Minister Rekha Gupta reaching the LNJP hospital where the victims are being treated. Now, the latest information that we have is that after the confirmation that we got that 8 people are already dead, now that the number of people who are dead, the number could go up by at least 1 more. At least 9 people killed in the blast is the latest information that we are getting, even as Delhi's Chief Minister Rekha Gupta reaches the LNJP hospital, and even as she is holding meetings at the LNJP hospital, security agencies are surveying the blast site, and mainly the forensic teams are collecting crucial evidence, even as the investigation into the owner of the car involved in the blast. Bear in mind, this was a slow-moving car where the blast took place, a Hyundai i20 car, the ownership of which is a big suspect at this stage. But what we do understand, the latest number that we're getting is the number of people who were killed in this deadly blast. At least 9 people are said to have lost their lives. We're trying to get a confirmation, even as more than a dozen people, nearly 20 people are getting treated in the hospital. That's the last number that we have received, even as Union Home Minister Amit Shah confirmed that steady investigation is underway. News9, meanwhile, has accessed the RC book, the registration book of the car involved with the registration number HR26CE7674. The first owner is a man named Mohammed Salman, who had sold it to another person named Devinder, and then Devinder further sold the car to someone in Ambala. Visuals on your screens are of the RC of the i20 car that exploded. We have accessed the RC of that car. We have the final number on the number plate as well. Gurinder Singh Dhilan, it's HR26CE7674.
So that, yes, Krishna, so that makes it further clear. So then it becomes easier to trace because it's not that old a car. So you will find it that this database is available online. This database is available with every SHO, with every police station. For example, I tell you, for Punjab, we have around 36 to 38 interstate nakas because we have 5 states bordering Punjab. So they are high-tech nakas. They have all the database to identify whichever car is moving, a vehicle is moving, their number can be traced whether it is fake or not. So this is very easy to trace. But ultimately, the finality will be that who was the final owner and why was the car moving at that place and who were the 4 persons sitting in that. But keeping that aside, at the same time, we have to learn lesson from every failure. Here also there is a lesson. We have to be very careful. All over India, we have decided we shall have high security number plates. But still, multiple states are there which are we have not adopted this model. But for internal security, we have to really do a lot so that we don't feel as if it is a weak internal security setup.
Gurinder Singh, we are also getting the latest visuals of Delhi's Chief Minister Rekha Gupta, who's at the LNJP hospital meeting victims over there. This is after Union Home Minister Amit Shah also visited the LNJP hospital where the victims of this blast was taken. These are the latest visuals, ladies and gentlemen, on your screens of the Chief Minister of Delhi speaking to the victims, speaking to those who are injured, getting the eyewitness accounts of what exactly happened, how exactly the tragic events unfolded near the Red Fort metro station. Latest visuals from LNGP hospital where the injured are receiving treatment, as we continue to understand that the number of dead in this blast could be at least 9. It could be more. We had a confirmation a short while ago from Union Home Minister that 8 are confirmed dead. Now 1 more seems to be added to the tally, at least 1 more. That's what we understand, even as we're getting greater and greater details about the car involved, about the blast, which could hold all the crucial clues to what exactly went on before this blast happened. Bear in mind, the blast happening at a busy hour, just past 6:50 p.m. at a very busy area near the Red Fort metro station. Hence, around 20 to 30 people are said to have been injured, and those who are injured are being inquired upon by the Chief Minister of Delhi, Rekha Gupta. Latest visuals of your screens of the Delhi Chief Minister meeting those injured at the LNJP hospital. Gurinder Singh Dhillon, the other thing I wanted to ask you is that at least the fact that now we have this number, the number plate on the car, it at least one confirmation is that this is a car that is not terribly old. It has changed